What's going on, everybody? We are back, and today we're going to be answering another interview question. This time, what are your goals? Tell me about your goals. This question should be relatively easy to answer simply because you should already have a good idea of what your goals are when you're applying to this position. Maybe you want to be the very best at the position that you're applying for. Maybe you want to be promoted a few times and go up a few levels. Maybe you want to be that company's VPO. So it's going to really depend on this answer is going to really depend on you and where you're really trying to go. Some people really are fine just being the very best at a certain position, and they're perfectly content. Other people, myself included, never really get content. I learn a position, I get good at it, and now what's next? And now from here, can I climb another step on this ladder? So that's this particular video is going to be sort of fluid depending on you, and the answer should be fluid depending on you and what your particular goals are. So when you ask this question, sort of keep in mind where you're trying to go with this company. I'm going to give you an example. I was asked this question when I was interviewed. As I mentioned in the last video, I was interviewed. I had 5 interviews, and only one out of the 5 actually asked me this question, and it was actually the VPO. We were talking, and he told me, well, tell me about your goals, and where are you trying to go, where are you headed, and I kind of just looked at him, and I told him, eventually, I'd like to be in your seat. And so that answer is not going to be for everybody. Maybe somebody with similar ambitions as mine wouldn't have felt comfortable giving that response verbatim. And that's important, guys. When I give you guys sort of like these tips, you should be able, or you should be tailoring them to you, and you should be tailoring them to fit your particular personality. Maybe somebody with with similar ambitions to mine would have responded, well, I'd like to go as high up as I possibly can, and that's a perfectly fine answer. The reason why I gave the answer that I did is just because that's my personality, and I also wanted to see what kind of reaction he would have. And it was funny, he just sort of laughed and said, hey, that's a good answer. And so my particular response was a risk, and I knew it was going to be a risk when I said it. But here's the thing. In my particular situation, or the way that I am, is I like to be with people that allow me to grow, or allow me to sort of improve upon myself. And so when I gave that answer, I knew that somebody that would have my best interest at heart, or somebody that would be open to help me grow, or to help me further develop myself, would have been perfectly fine with that answer. Now, somebody that is intimidated by other people's success because they think, oh my god, they're coming for my job, and how am I going to keep them down? How am I going to keep them down because they're going to take my job? And I mean, I quite literally said that, but it not in so many words, and I know it's going to be a while before I even ascend to that level, and I have to learn the position that I'm getting to there, and then even then there's several levels, and I might end up being at a different position than his, but it's just it was just to kind of tell him, hey, I'm ambitious and I'd like to grow, and hopefully you can help me along the way. So it's really a risk, and as I said, I was able to identify whether he was someone who would help me grow, or someone who would kind of just try to keep me down because he would be intimidated by my growth. Me particularly, I love it when people give me this answer when I'm interviewing. Now, as I said, people are different, and every interviewer is not the same. The reason why I like it is because it tells me, hey, this person, they're ambitious, and they want to better themselves. They want to, it shows that they have, drive. They're potentially somebody that could have a lot of potential, and that could do really, really well. And the way that I look at it is, hey, well, I need somebody to take my position so that I can go on and take the next one up. And as I said, that's sort of just my way of thinking, and that's the way that I view things. And the VPO, the Vice President of Operations that interviewed me, obviously has a similar view of this answer as I did. So now, as I said earlier, if this answer is really going to depend on you and what your particular goals are. So if your goals are to be the best at the position that you're applying for, then definitely say that. Be like, oh, I'd like to be the best damn general manager that you've ever had, you know, and that's a perfectly good answer. Now, don't say, well, you know, my goals are to eventually, go do, something else with another company, because I'm gonna see it as, well, you're not really gonna be worth the investment, because you gotta look at it like this: when somebody's hiring, it's because they have a need, and they're hoping that you can fill that need. That's why they're talking to you. Now, when they hire you, that there's an investment. There's a monetary investment in the form of training. I mean, they gotta pay you to train. They gotta pay somebody else to train you. They gotta put a lot of time, resources into it, and to you. And so if your goals are to leave in 6 months, then why even hire you? Why are you even applying if you're planning on leaving in 6 months? So your response should be sort of intertwined with the job that you're applying for. Maybe you're applying at a certain level, but eventually you want to become in HR, and once you get in HR, you want to be the director of HR. Answer that. That's a perfectly good response. So this is really going to be something that you personally are going to have to sort of just think on, and sort of figure out exactly what your response is. As I said many times, you should dedicate some time to the interview that you're going to be going through, and this is definitely a response that you should definitely think about. One of the final things to remember is to be genuine. I'm just giving you a simple outlook as the way that I look at things, and the sort of the answers that I would like when I'm interviewing. And I know that I'm not alone in it. I have several colleagues that that interview at my level as well, and we have the same views. But as I mentioned earlier, not everybody's going to be the same. But I'm giving you a general idea of what someone like me is looking for in the way of responses. So just make sure that you dedicate time to your responses. Before the interview, you really, as I said, record yourself if possible, and these should be tailored to yourself. These responses that you give should be tailored to your personality. I've seen other people try to give off sort of just scripts. If you're trying to remember a script and try to put it all together for every individual response, I mean, you're really gonna sound automated, and that's really not something that I would personally be looking for. I'm looking for someone that's going to be genuine, someone that's going to be ambitious, has drive, and is going to show potential. So that's sort of my take on this particular question. There isn't one right answer. I think the important keys to keep in mind is, as I said, be genuine. Make sure that these responses that you give are tailored to your particular personality. Don't try to sound scripted. And if you're applying for the job, it should be because you want to be there long term, and so you should give them an answer that says that. So there it is, everybody. So what are your goals? I hope you liked the video. If you have any suggestions for me, please leave them down in the comment section below, and until next time.